Coming up on First at 4, Kentucky State Police is welcoming its largest cadet class since 2014 to their academy in Frankfort. And 2 cases challenging President Biden's plan to cancel tens of thousands of dollars in loan debt for tens of millions of borrowers comes before the Supreme Court justices tomorrow. We'll have a preview.
Plus, another extremely breezy day in place for the region as gusty showers push through when some nicer weather arrives. Coming up as Mountain News First at 4 starts now.
Dedicated to Eastern and Southern Kentucky, this is WYMT Mountain News First at 4.
Good afternoon, I'm Steve Hensley. First at 4, we are starting off the work week with a blast of wet and windy weather. That's why it's a First Alert Weather Day. For the latest, let's send it over to meteorologist Evan Hatter. Evan.
Well, that's right, Steve. We continue to see plenty of breezy conditions work through the region this afternoon. Most of the severe weather well off to our north, but we have seen some gusty showers. Our First Alert Weather Day runs through the rest of the evening hours. Gusts 40 to 50 miles per hour, not out of the question, with even higher gusts possible in those gusty showers. All of us, we're under a wind advisory. This runs until about 10 o'clock tonight. They've extended that till 10 o'clock for just about everybody. Some areas may go till midnight, some areas until 1 a.m., but most of us until 10 p.m. You see out to the west, that gold color is a high wind warning in effect for central Kentucky and the Appalachian Mountains in parts of North Carolina as well. A level 1 marginal risk for severe weather. The main threat is off to the north, but this is for some of those gusty showers that could potentially bring us more gusty winds. We continue to see maximum gusts 30 to 40 miles per hour across the region. Louisville, I've seen, is gusting upwards of 65 miles per hour this afternoon. Most of us have stayed 20 to 30, but in our western counties, we've seen 30 to 40 mile per hour gusts. Those gusty showers continue to push through portions of Pike County into portions of Buchanan, Dickinson counties in southwest Virginia. Likely some heavy rain on top of Norton, on top of Wise. As you head back toward places like Ewing, Virginia, it's drying out there, but as you head toward Duffield, things are getting rather breezy and wet as we head into southwest Virginia. That area will be clearing out of the region soon, but already seeing supercells up into central Ohio. Those should stay up there, but it is something we'll watch. Temperatures region-wide are mild, mid-60s, low 70s, and as we head through the next 12 hours, we'll start to dry out and calm the winds down. Details on when things finally start to just calm down in a few minutes. Steve?
All right, Evan, thank you. Since the COVID-19 pandemic began, we've heard numerous stories of declining mental health among healthcare workers, but a recent bill passed by the Kentucky Senate may be able to help. Senate Bill 12 aims to offer protection for Kentucky physicians who seek mental help via wellness programs. The bill states that these doctors would not be required to disclose that they participated in these programs, and they cannot be dismissed by their employers for doing so.
Prior to the passage of this bill, doctors had to report anytime other doctors sought any kind of mental health treatment or wellness treatment. With the passage of this bill, that will be gone. The stigmatism will be gone related to mental health treatment, and they'll be able to seek mental health treatment more openly without any fear of any kind of recourse.
Senate Bill 12 was unanimously passed by the Senate and is awaiting committee assignment. We'll have more on the bill and local reaction to it tonight at 6. Last Thursday, during Governor Beshear's Team Kentucky update, he announced 4 new awards totaling more than $4.4 million in funding from the Eastern Kentucky Safe Fund. The city of Boonville received 2 awards, the first one for $5,720 required for a FEMA match, along with a $100,000 award to help ease their financial strain. Governor Beshear announced awards for Knott and Perry counties as well.
Knott County has been awarded $3,581,491 to fund a really important FEMA match for them. Perry County has been approved $702,584 to purchase equipment necessary for relief efforts.
Governor Beshear says the EK Safe Fund is ongoing and counties must have specific expenses to receive awards from it. We're learning new details in what police are calling a horrific child death case in southern Kentucky. A 3-year-old girl died a week ago, and police say the mother's boyfriend is to blame. Today, state police testified about the injuries the girl suffered. The bond for Jordan Taylor was increased to $1 million after probable cause was found to send the case to the grand jury. Taylor is charged with murder in the 3-year-old's death. The girl died after she was rushed from her home in Woodbine to Baptist Hospital in Corbin.
A terrible case. It's a senseless and horrific death. Ethically, I can't comment on the facts of the case. They are public record, though.
State police say the case is still under investigation, but that Taylor is the only one charged. We'll have more on this story tonight at 6. If you have federal student loan debt, then you will want to keep an eye on tomorrow's arguments at the Supreme Court. 2 cases challenging President Biden's plan to cancel some of that debt for millions of borrowers will come before the justices. CNN's Karen Caifa is in Washington with more on what to expect.
In limbo for months, President Joe Biden's federal student loan relief plan will have a turn before the U.S. Supreme Court Tuesday. Last August, Biden unveiled a sweeping plan to forgive up to $20,000 in federal student loan debt for borrowers whose income was less than $125,000 a year.
All this means people can finally crawl out from under that mountain of debt to get on top of their rent and their utilities.
Supporters lauded the move as a big step forward to ending a college debt crisis compounded by the COVID-19 pandemic. And the Biden administration said among borrowers no longer in school, nearly 90% of relief dollars would go to those earning less than $75,000 a year. Republican critics called it political landing as the 2022 midterm elections entered the home stretch and argued writing off an estimated $430 billion in repayments should get congressional approval. In December, the Supreme Court agreed to take up 2 challenges to the plan, including one from 6 GOP-led states, Nebraska, Arkansas, Iowa, Kansas, Missouri, and South Carolina, while keeping a block imposed by an appeals court last November in place. Millions of borrowers have been notified they're approved for debt relief. No debt has been canceled yet. The Biden administration's case leans on the post-9/11 HEROES Act of 2003, which granted the U.S. Secretary of Education authority to make changes to the federal student loan program during national emergencies. But the White House intends to end the COVID-19 national emergency on May 11th, which may make that argument more challenging. In Washington, I'm Karen Caifa.
Coming up on First at 4, a new round of snow, heavy rain, and extreme wind is expected in areas from the West Coast to the Great Lakes.
And it remains breezy tonight, but drier conditions are on the way. The very latest after this.